morning, everyone. It is a rainy Thursday here in downtown Jackson, Ohio, but, we can use it.
Yes.
Because it makes,
very dry.
The ground not look so icky.
It makes the grass not fly all over the place when you mow it.
So that is the thing. Like, it's just like a big dust bowl. Like, you step on the grass and it goes poof.
Yep.
It's like crazy. Well, I'll tell you what. It's not going to rain.
Not after...
Next weekend.
No. Not next weekend, no.
No, absolutely not. Because that is when the Buckeye Furnace Fall Festival will be taking place. And you've already ordered no rain.
I ordered no rain about 6 months ago.
Okay. She's on it.
She's on it.
I know. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. We have Jan and Kathy. Kathy's shirtless today.
You zipped it up.
You zipped it up, didn't you? Kathy has on a green shirt, which blends in with our green screen, which turned her into bricks. So therefore, we put a jacket on her so that she doesn't disappear off the face of the earth. But we are going to be talking about the Buckeye Furnace Fall Festival, and it is coming up not this weekend, but next weekend. And we're going to find out all the stuff. And you guys have added some things. So I'll tell you what, we do have a message, and then we will be back and talk with Jan and Kathy and find out all about the Buckeye Furnace Fall Festival in just a moment.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
Well, good. Well, welcome back. Here we are, and I don't know what I'm saying. I'm out of it. See, it's the dust in the cat hair. I was telling
And the
you
allergy
about.
meds.
Yeah, it's the allergy stuff. No, we are back. We are going to be talking with Jan and Kathy about the Buckeye Furnace Fall Festival, which is coming up, as we said, not this weekend, but next weekend, where there will be no rain and a lot of fun and merriment to be had. Correct?
Absolutely.
Yes, yes.
We refer to it now as the Buckeye Furnace Fall Festival Make Memories Day.
I love that. Okay. So good. And it's so funny. I remember back when I think you guys had the first one. It's been how many years now?
Well, for me, it's been 18 years. I think they had a couple before me.
And maybe did the Historical Society put that on? I thought so. And, so it's been a minute.
It's been a minute, yeah.
A long time.
And you guys continue to grow.
Oh, yeah. Great leaps and bounds.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, if you haven't been out to Buckeye Furnace and experienced it, it's just a really cool place to be regardless. And then you put a festival on top of it, and it's just the perfect place to spend a fall afternoon.
Yeah, organized chaos.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it's put on now by what? Friends of Buckeye Furnace?
Friends of Buckeye Furnace.
And you guys you two are both members of that.
Yeah.
And let's talk about Friends of Buckeye Furnace for a minute. And you were saying it would be cool to get some youth involved, or some younger folks too involved, because they are the next generation, of course.
Absolutely.
And not that you all are old or anything.
Well, that's what we're hoping for, is to get some young blood into the organization. We need it, and there's a lot of historical sites around, and we're finding more and more young people are really getting interested into history.
And I think that is, you're exactly right about that. And I don't know why, because I couldn't have cared less about history when I was young, but now it's fascinating to me.
Yeah.
But
it's
I think it is a thing. And if we don't preserve it, then it goes away.
Yeah, it goes away and it never comes back.
That's right. And reading about something in a book is not the same as experiencing it or seeing it with your own eyes. So.
Yep.
We need some young folks. So how do you become a member of Friends of Buckeye Furnace?
Well, we're looking to start a volunteer group. We're not real educated in doing that, so we're trying to figure it out along the way. But we're starting with this youth group, I think, and then once we get the kids pulled in, it's a little easier to pull in the parents.
Oh, I see the method to your madness.
Hey, it's a family site, it's a family place, it's a family festival. Everything we do out there rolls around the family.
You're exactly right. So it would be very fitting to have families come out and be part of the Friends group.
Absolutely. That's what we want. And
Okay.
we've had several people express an interest, so we're really seriously going to buckle down. As soon as the fall festival's over at the end of the month, we will get together and start planning next year.
So do you have maybe like a website or a Facebook page people can go to?
You can go to buckeyefurnace.org, and I'm not doing the Facebook stuff, so I'm not sure what's on there, but I know there is something on there.
Okay. Very good. And Liv and Adrian say they will put all that information in the link.
Well, yes.
In our comments.
And one of the things, since we're sitting here, I'll go ahead and announce this. One of the things we're wanting to do, because social media is kind of in a downward climb, heading down, and it's hard to actually get in touch with people. We're wanting to start a mailing list. So we're going to be asking people who come to the Fall Festival and who come to the museum if they are interested in our events and stuff, if they will give us their email address, and we will start a newsletter to send to them. We will not abuse it. We won't send you
Sell
stuff.
your information.
Yeah,
None
no,
of that
absolutely not. We don't. That's not what we want to do. We want to be able to get to the people who want to know.
Absolutely, and that is a fantastic way to do it. And that would actually be a welcome email versus some of the other junk that you get on the daily.
We wouldn't be sending you something every day or every week. Probably, maybe you hear from us once a month.
Okay. I think that's a great way to reach people. And,
I think so.
And, I don't mind giving my email out to something that's, legitimate and that I would enjoy, right?
Right. It's a good way for us to be able to reach out to not only just the local folks, but we got people coming from all over the state and some from out of state. So
That is really cool. Mm-hmm. To little old Buckeye Furnace.
Little old Buckeye Furnace. We're getting busier all the time, but then so is all of southeastern Ohio, guys. One of these days, I predict within 10 years, we're going to be a tourist mecca.
And we talk about it here on the program sometimes that the very thing that we live in the middle of and don't appreciate 1 ounce is the reason that people flock to our area. Mm-hmm. And that is just its charm and natural beauty. And, we just don't appreciate it. I have 10 deer in my yard every night. And, my friends come down from Columbus and they're like, that's so cool. But I'm like, they just eat my hostas, man. I don't, it's just weird.
Yeah, I think it's something wherever you live. I had some friends that lived in New York, and they never went to the Statue of Liberty until they were moving to Ohio.
Yeah.
So
you hear about that stuff, and it's like, so some of my friends that live in Columbus, they're like, oh yeah, we crack up because it's like we should just do a house swap or something because they go to Hocking Hills or they come down here to this area to go like to get away, and we go to the city to get away.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how that works?
It is funny.
But
cool.
But no, Buckeye Furnace, beautiful, beautiful place, very historical. One of only, is it 3?
3 reconstructed.
3, yeah.
Reconstructed charcoal iron furnaces in the country. There's one in Pennsylvania and one in Massachusetts. And
that
little
is
old
incredible.
Buckeye Furnace.
Little little old, what is that technically? What's the city?
Charcoal iron furnace?
No, where is it technically?
Technically,
Are we in Jackson?
It's Wellston.
It's Wellston. Okay.
Yeah, it's a
Little
Wellston
Ohio.
mailing address, yes.
Who would have ever thought, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, well, let's get to it. And you all have added something really, really cool this year that we'll get to. But let's talk about the Fall Festival and some of the things that will be going on.
Well, we'll start with the kids section. That's my favorite part.
Yep.
We will
Lots of
have our
fun.
Little Miss Mister going on again this year.
Oh,
There is 6 age groups. The only requirements are dress country. put your child in holy jeans and their plaid shirts and their Western wear and bring them on out.
Okay.
There's 6 age groups. They're divided that way to make it fair. We have a pumpkin painting contest, which is the kids' favorite. It's divided in 6 age groups.
So
Pie eating
when they
contest.
get there, they paint the pumpkin, not like
Yes.
bring a painted
no,
pumpkin.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
we
we
get it.
provide the pumpkins.
Okay.
And they
So-
can take them home with them.
Yes.
Really?
Please
How
don't forget to
fun.
take your pumpkins home.
Yeah, or I'll have to eat a lot of pumpkin pies.
Yeah, exactly.
We have kids and adults hog calling contest, pie eating contest, adults and children. All the children's activities for the day run through 11 to 4, and it's all free for the children. So, and like she said, it's a family day. It's a chance to keep
Absolutely.
it's a chance to keep your kids occupied while the parents go off and do their vending visits and the museum visit and things like that, and the car show this year.
Oh, yeah, don't forget the scavenger hunt for the
Oh,
kids.
and yes, we're having a scavenger hunt again this
That's
year.
a fan favorite.
It was a big hit for the past 2 years, so we're going to do that as well.
I had a dream last night that I was in a scavenger hunt, and you had to find tennis balls. So you tell me why I had that.
Do you have a dog that chases
I do,
balls?
yes.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and the funny thing is we can't find her tennis ball right now, so Olive is very upset because the tennis ball is missing. So maybe that's why I had the dream. But yeah, and then in my dream, I got the very first tennis ball of the scavenger hunt, and I put it in my pocket. And then, like, halfway through the scavenger hunt, I lost it. And then I was, like, running around trying to find the tennis ball that I lost.
Oh my goodness.
Billy Karen didn't take it away from you?
No, I don't think so. Weird. Anywho, I digress. But, no, scavenger hunt for the kids. And what would be some of the things that they would do in the scavenger hunt?
Well, our vendors. The kids do not know who has the photos of bugs.
Oh, this is going to be birds.
Well, this will be birds this time.
Okay.
The vendors will have a photo framed, and it'll be a picture of a bird. But the kids has actually got to visit the vending. All the vendors to find the birds.
And they have a card that has a picture of what the bird looks like. And then once they get through, and when they find it, then they bring it up to the furnace, and we will give them a gift bag.
Love that. So they just have to complete it.
Yes.
Cool.
So that's been a big hit. So we're going to try to keep that going on.
Is
all
one
the
of them
time.
to find a tennis ball?
We
Well,
can,
maybe
you should
next
make
year.
that.
we can make that a
Yeah,
right.
you
We
should
can do
make
that
that
next year.
a requirement, yes.
Yeah.
If I could find a way to put your picture on it, that work well. Find Jennifer.
Oh, that would be funny. Okay, so scavenger hunt for the kids, and then lots of kids games throughout the day. So
Yes.
when does the festival, like, it is next Saturday, right?
Next Saturday.
And it starts when?
10 a.m. October 4th, 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Goes to 5.
Okay.
And we have a lot of activities going on. We also have the beard contest for the menfolk.
I forgot about that one. That's a good one.
Yeah, we do messiest, neatest, longest, and most like Santa Claus. And then we put all 4 of them up in front of the audience, and we let the audience pick best of show.
Yep.
I love that. That's
And we
so
get
cool.
trophies, and all the winners, like pie eating contest, hog calling, they all get trophies. And little Mr., little Miss get trophies. So you know, it's fun. It's fun. It's family fun.
Very cool. I love that.
And the women have their skillet casting contest.
Gosh, yes.
So yeah, I
the
was
cast
going.
iron skillet throw.
Yep.
So explain that, because this is a good one.
We put a 7-foot tall wooden man out in the field, and we give you 6-inch cast iron skillets to throw at him. And we have somebody there who is monitoring it and keeping track of your score. And at the end of the contest, excuse me, the woman with the highest score gets a free set of cast iron cookware.
Okay, number one, cast iron cookware is awesome. I use mine all the time. But just getting some of that, out.
Yeah, frustration venting.
So how do you earn points? Is it like where you hit him, or how many times you hit him?
It's where you hit him, but we don't tell people where to hit him. And he's looking pretty bad. We really do need to get a new one.
We need a new man.
Yes.
Have you ever thought about, replacing the wooden one with a real one?
We thought about it, but we were advised by our local attorney to not do that.
Not do that.
Not do that.
We could give him a pillow or something to protect
pillow?
himself.
I really don't think a pillow would help.
No, not so much. No. Okay.
And it's liable to see some couple women go up there and just stand and beat him.
Whap.
Because some of them throw them skillets pretty hard.
Oh, yeah.
You just wonder what's behind that,
Yeah.
don't you?
So we.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah,
How
we know
funny.
to stay out of their way.
Yeah, don't get between the wooden man and the lady with the skillet.
That's right. That's right. Highly advised not to do that.
That's funny.
We have Red Brush coming back again this year, and Andy Milliken. Looking forward to both of those guys. They've supported us for years and
They
years.
are
And
all amazing.
looking
Yes.
forward to having them back. Well, our Chinese auction, we've got a lot of stuff for the Chinese auction. I think there's one of those jumping units for car. You don't have to jump from car to car. You just
You
look at it.
yeah.
And we've got more men's stuff in this year. Hats, sunglasses, saws. Yeah, we got some of those little 6-inch saws, that are good for
Battery operated.
Yeah, like a like a hand saw,
Yeah.
just like small, quick projects.
Yeah,
Right. Those
like-
are so handy.
trimming up. We got 2 of those.
Awesome.
And all of our stuff that we usually have, we will have it this year. We got over 42 vendors now. So
What do you do with 42 vendors?
We spread them out,
Jeez.
and we let them sell, and they keep wanting to come back every year.
Well,
so we're
that
good.
means they must be selling something if they keep coming back.
They do well. They do.
They
well.
do.
So, who are some of the vendors that you can think of off the top of your head? Like,
Oh my gosh!
I know there's 42.
I can think
them.
of things more than I can
Okay.
of people.
Tell us the things.
We have sourdough bread. We have all kinds of bakers. We've got jewelry makers, clay jewelry makers.
Yeah.
It's really hard for me to remember. There's so many of them.
Probably some. You have people with like some antiques and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like
Some vintage
vintage
vendors.
things.
All kinds of crafts.
Wreaths and things like that. That'd be
wreaths,
probably a really
wood.
cool place to get a fall wreath.
I know one of the vendors sells plants.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So there's anything and everything you can imagine. You'll probably find there.
I love it. That's awesome.
So-
all right. Well, let's talk about the car show. It's new
Yeah, it's new. This year we added a car show.
because you needed to add something else to the festival because
Well,
you didn't have enough stuff to do.
We have enough stuff to do, but I'm telling you guys, before I leave Buckeye Furnace, I would love to see the festival go to 2 days.
Yeah.
So we're working on that.
Oof.
We have our neighbor Bob Pugh. I'm sure everybody knows Bob Pugh and
Bob
the
and his
Bengal
Bengals car.
Mobile.
Yeah.
The roaring Bengal Mobile.
Yep.
That's cool. He's been working his backside off for us on this.
Love
Registration for the car show runs from 10 to 12.
Okay.
At 12 noon, the judging will start, and we will announce the winners of the car show at 3 o'clock. We have the best Chevy, best Ford, best Mopar, best 4x4, best truck, best shop truck, best pre-1960, pre-1980, and pre-2000. We also have a People's Choice. That's just the people who go over there and cast their ballot.
Oh, that's fun.
For that, and we also have Best of Show. And it's not on this flyer, but we also have a Veterans Trophy
Oh, that's awesome.
for
Love that.
a veteran. And the top 30 cars will all get a trophy, and the first 50 cars will get a souvenir, which I'm in the process of making those. It's a license plate with the American flag, first annual car show, Buckeye
Oh,
Furnace.
that's so cool.
So it'll be a fun day. Lots of things to do, and yes, folks, the kettle corn will be there.
I was going to ask that.
I knew you would. Yep, it's going to be there. Lots of kettle corn.
So what about other food? Will there be
We have
some food vendors?
two food trucks there. One is
Sour pig.
Sour Pig, and the other one is Woody's. I don't remember what the whole thing is.
What do they serve?
He's talking about bringing a pizza truck. He has 3
Okay.
different trucks, but we really want him to bring. We were really hoping that he would do the fried bologna sandwiches that he does, because that would go real good with our 30 gallons
Yeah.
of beans that we're gonna have.
Oh, yes.
30 gallons of beans and lots of cornbread, and hopefully we're hoping that he will do the fried bologna sandwiches, because I think they would be popular with that. And of course, for dessert, there's all kinds of vendors selling baked goods, and then there's kettle corn.
There's kettle corn. Who doesn't love some kettle corn?
There you go.
Absolutely.
So we're looking to be very busy this year. I think, I wanted to go to two days this year, but I'm thinking we're looking more for possibly year after next, if we can get our
Okay.
youth group going and
Yeah.
and get that stuff
Well,
going.
because listen, and this goes back to what we've said here on the show a lot of times, and that is these fairs and festivals and events do not just magically appear.
Right.
It takes human beings and a lot of planning, and most of the time
Yes.
a year's worth of planning to put these things on, and you need bodies to do that.
We have been very graced with so many sponsors for our fall festival. They're really great folks, and they've
Sure.
supported us year after year, and we've got several new this year that are sponsoring the car show. And
Because it's new.
it's new, and I'm looking for that to be a really big throw us over the hump thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Everybody loves a good car show.
Everybody loves a good car show, and then when you've got a pie eating contest on top of it, what else can you ask for?
And you can toss skillets at a man.
yeah,
Yep.
wooden
I mean,
man,
hello.
wooden man.
Oh shoot, I forgot about
Wooden
that.
man.
I mean,
No, we'd have to. I don't know if we could dress him up. You know those guys that the dogs attack, and they have those big fluffy
Yeah.
suits? That might work. I don't
That
know,
might
but
work.
I don't think we're going to find anybody who really wants to put himself out
can
there
you
like that.
imagine? Poor guy.
Well,
I love it.
As you can see, this guy, Deanna Stroth painted him for us when we had him made. We got a really tall boy to lay down on a
He's
piece of
kinda
plywood.
doing this.
Yeah, he has this horrified look on his face. And as he was so beat up after the first year, we used him on our haunted trail for Halloween. That's how beat up he was. And so far, and we've been doing this, about 6-7 years?
Approximately.
Yeah, approximately six,
lost
7
count.
years. He's only lost one finger.
Oh, well, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Well, let's see, ladies. Can you make him lose another finger?
Yeah, get that cast iron cookware.
It's a challenge.
And guys, you can come in a dress if you want to, but it's for women only.
Okay.
The beer
Sorry.
contest is for the guys.
I mean, you never know.
You never know, but everybody's got to have their thing.
No, that's true. Absolutely.
And the kids. In fact, we had to finally set the cast iron skillet throw to adults because the little girls were getting in there throwing.
Yeah.
So we kind of did a substitute over on the kids area.
Love it. So smaller version.
Yeah.
Smaller version.
We do.
Smaller version, yes.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Well, while you're here, is there anything else that because you mentioned the haunted trail, is that something that's coming up?
Well, that's something that we would bring back when we go to 2 days.
Okay, gotcha.
And get that youth involved.
And
Okay,
get,
yeah,
and
yeah,
get that
okay.
youth involved.
Heard.
Yeah.
I can't scream like I used to. Out on the haunted trail,
I
scare
feel
people.
Okay, so are there any other events that you all have coming up that you'd like to plug while you're here?
I think that's pretty much it for this year.
The fall festival,
Like I
and
said.
kind of rounds out the summer.
Yeah, and
Yes.
any money that we make at our festivals or anything we do out there stays right here in the community.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes,
so
definitely.
it helps us with our family day camp that we have once a year, and we provide meals for everybody, and we provide crafts for the kids to do and take home, and
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
That's so fun.
So it's helpful. Plus all the flyers and everything we do. We got tons of flyers out there for anything and everything. You got one for how to make lye soap and how to make a candle.
Yes.
So
All the stuff and things.
it's a vast wealth of information and learning, and we try to make it as fun as possible, because if you make it fun, the kids are going to remember.
You've got it, and then maybe they'll want to get involved, right?
Yes. That's what we're
Absolutely.
shooting for.
Yeah,
That's
love
what we
that.
want.
Well, very good. Well, girls, we appreciate you coming in this morning and letting us know about this Buckeye Furnace Fall Festival. Again, not this coming Saturday. The next Saturday will be October 4th.
Yes.
10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Red Brush Band, Andy Milligan, lots and lots of vendors, all kind of fun for the whole family, and, some food available, too.
And
So
a car show.
there you go. And the car show. Yes.
The car show.
And you don't have to pre-register for that. You just show
No, you
up.
register there that day. It's a very modest $10 fee.
Okay. Very good. All right. Well, girls, I was just waiting on my next guest. There he is. You didn't have to mill around out there.
Sorry.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Thank you for coming in. It's always fun to talk with you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Of course.
Appreciate it. And I'll give you that southeastern Ohio. Y'all come back now, you hear?
There you go. That's right. I'll tell you what, we do have another guest waiting in the wings. We're going to talk about National Comic Book Day. So we have some messages, and then we'll be back with our good friend Shawn Langley and talk about National Comic Book Day right after this.
From breaking news to heartwarming stories, a telegram is your ticket to the latest buzz in town.
Read your daily dose of local headlines, sports, and entertainment and more in hand and on paper.
Get a print and digital subscription for only $7.95 per month. Delivered fresh every Wednesday and Saturday.
Visit thetelegramnews.com or call 740-286-3023 today.
Don't just read the news, be a part of it.
All right, and we are here with our good friend Shawn Langley, and I just don't know why you would be here to talk about comic books.
Totally clueless, no idea.
Just kidding. No, and we've known each other a really long time, and when I think about Shawn Langley, certainly art is one of the first things I think of when it comes to you and your incredible talent. That I certainly do not have at all, and I'm very envious of you.
That's very nice for you to say.
And
thank you.
your creative brain. And I don't understand how people make something go from here to there. It does not, like when I try to do that, it's just, there's nothing there.
Caffeine.
Is that it?
Mostly
now
caffeine.
you know the secret.
That's a big part of it is caffeine.
Very good. Well, let's talk about, I never, I guess, got into comic books. And when you talk about comic books, there's like the funny pages that you used to read,
Beetle Bailey and Hagar the Horrible.
Garfield.
I'm showing my age a little bit with that, yeah.
Some of those. But then when you start thinking of comic books, some of them get pretty dark.
Some of them do. I've done a lot of indie comic books, and some of those storylines are pretty dark. But I mean, my imagination is kind of weird anyway, so I like doing that kind of stuff.
Yes, it is, but that is what makes you so talented.
I have people come up now and then and say something like that, and I always respond with the same thing.
What's that?
I have a quote from Bob Ross that says, "Talent is a pursued interest, and anything you're willing to practice, you can do." And so I think it's just a lot of practice.
I take umbrage with your statement on that,
That's
and
all
Bob
right.
Ross.
I've just had 30 years of practice.
Well, I could practice for the next 300 years and not do anything close to what you do. So, but let's talk about National Comic Book Day for a moment. And what does that mean to you?
To me, it's like one of my first loves is comics. Ever since I was a kid and found an old couple of comics laying around that my brother had. He wasn't a huge collector, but he had some.
And what would those have been?
One of them was the I can't remember the issue, but it was the Amazing Spider-Man with one of the first appearances of the Jackal. And then there was another one that was an issue of World's Finest with Batman and Superman facing a bunch of rock monsters. And in that issue,
Okay.
Batman and Superman had actually switched costumes for a little bit. So, but yeah,
That's
it was
scandalous.
a real big scandal.
So so what's the difference between I guess what's the point of a comic book? What are they telling a story? Are they to make you laugh, or they're all kind of different?
It depends on the tone of the comic. They're always about telling a story. When I started doing comic books, and I've only done independent ones, but one of the things that I've learned was they said you need to draw the pages like there's no words. So I can tell that somebody can pick it up
Yes.
if there were no words. You could tell what the story is.
So that was going to
without
be
any
my
words.
next question.
Yeah.
How much is the art important versus the words that are important?
Both are equally important, but the art is supposed to be done in a way that if there were no words, you could still tell what the story is.
That makes total sense, which is hard to do because then you have to think everything through.
Yeah. You got to plot things out. I always look whenever I did mine in terms of a movie and camera angles and storyboards and stuff. There's a couple that I've done to where I've tried to, sometimes I'm stretched for time, so I kind of breeze through and just go for a cool, picture for the page. But a lot of the times it's still trying to make sure that the story is told in a way that just keeping that in mind, that
Sure.
if there were no words on this, would they be able to tell what the story is by the artwork?
And do you find in comic books is there an artist and then the story person, or is that all typically one
It depends.
person?
It depends.
Okay.
Sometimes there's guys that I'm not a good writer, so I've only ever just drawn the books. But sometimes it's there's guys that do both in that, and it's the whole thing is them.
Okay.
I've only ever drawn books. I've never written one because I'm not good at that part. But
Well, I guess I was just sitting here thinking it would be kind of hard sometimes maybe to get two people to tell that story in two different ways and have the same vision.
yeah, a lot of times when I've done a book, the writer is the guy that it's kind of his creation. So he knows the characters and stuff. So he's like the director.
So the words first, then the art to supplement.
With me, it's always started with a script. They've given me the layouts and everything of how they want it to look in some direction. I do love the times when they say, just go nuts, whatever you want to do with this page. I love that. But because then I just kind of get to use my imagination on it. But it always starts with a script. They always have a script kind of plotted out for the most part. And then I'm following their direction. If I have ideas, I say, what if I did this? There was a book series I did with a friend of mine named Josh Dahl called Rapid City Below Zero. And I would always have ideas for the covers. And
Okay.
he learned one of my covers were kind of weird, a little abstract, but he learned that I don't get what you're seeing in your head, but I want you to go with it. And then he ends up liking the cover. And I always had skulls implemented somehow added in there just because I thought they looked cool.
Skulls look cool.
They do look cool.
They do
They're
look
fun
cool.
to draw.
They look rare.
Yeah.
Bad. Yeah. So all right. Well, you brought some stuff here.
I did.
What are we looking at?
Okay, so one, I was just for the first time ever, I got to set up a table at the Mothman Festival last weekend. And so I have some of my Mothman art, and that's one of a series of paintings that I did.
That is incredible.
I also brought, so there's a company run by Jordan Lowe and Michael Easton out of around Marietta. Jordan runs Asylum Comics.
Am I allowed to touch this?
Yeah, absolutely. Those are some prints from my previous artwork.
So these are all your version of what the Mothman would look like,
Yeah.
because none of us really know what the Mothman.
Exactly. I've had
Look
people,
like.
I've drawn Bigfoot and had people argue with me. That one's actually 3D. I brought glasses so you can look at it.
Wait, stop.
Yeah.
How do you draw something 3D?
I don't.
Oh,
I put a filter on, and the filter adds the red and the right. The filter adds
oh
the
my
red and
gosh,
the blue layers.
Oh my god, that is so cool.
And then it takes a lot of time to move the layers around. So you can't I don't want to add red and blue to it and say, ooh, it's 3D. You got to move the layers around
I am totally bugging right now, tripping.
So
His
it looks like
wings turned furry.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you can see that through the thing there, but through the actual on camera. But no, I've got 3D
That is
prints
super cool.
and Pennywise art. The last one, I think you can show that. I'm not sure, but
Well, we are anyway. Who
yeah,
cares?
that works for me.
Yep.
And the last one's one of my favorite things I've ever done. I did a series of zombie portraits starting with Bob Ross. And it's so fun.
You are sick and twisted. I love it.
Yeah, you're welcome. And then this is actually, so the books that I've been working on with the guys from So Pro Comics, that's an original page for the cover. So that's what you're seeing what an actual comic page looks like with the lines and everything on it. It's not just blank paper, there's guidelines and stuff.
Yeah.
And I've been doing art for like their book, The Moth, and their book's Bluff Creek. And this is an actual copy of the latest Bluff Creek comic that I did the art for the cover for. I did the black and white lines. I'm not that good of a colorist. So they had a digital colorist do that. The actual black and white art is in one of the back pages, I think. Or in the very back page of what my original art
Very
looked like
cool.
for it.
So what is that creature supposed to be?
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
It's a mother and child Bigfoot.
There's a bunny.
Yeah, they do a lot of like Bigfoot and Mothman based comics because it's this area. So
That makes sense.
yeah.
These are good. So you did all of this?
No, I did the
You
cover
just did
for
the
that.
cover. Okay.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
just did the cover, like
yeah.
you did the cover.
But they have me do a lot of variant covers and stuff. There's books that I've done a lot of all the interior art for. There was a graphic novel series from Source Point Press and a friend of mine named Stan Konopka called The Rejected. That was a darker storyline.
Okay.
But it was like a 3 graphic novel series, and I did all the art for the second 2 editions of that. One of my favorite things I've got to do is Upper Deck has a license to do Marvel trading cards.
Right. This is so cool.
So if you go to Walmart or anywhere and see like Upper Deck, Marvel trading cards, collectible cards, they would contract artists to do original sketch cards to include in those packs. Mm-hmm. So you have a chance of winning an original sketch card when you open a pack, and I was one of the artists lucky enough to do that.
Can you believe that? That
Very-
is so cool.
very cool.
Like, so how does that come to be? Like Marvel contacts you or
Upper Deck.
and they say, I love your art. Like, how do they find you? How does that whole situation work?
When I got the email for the first time, I thought it was a scam.
Well, I was going to say, you would think that was fake,
Yeah,
right?
I thought it was fake, and I talked about it on social media for a second, and like one of my Facebook friends commented and said, "What's the guy's name that sent the email?" And I told him, and he said, "That's real. Delete this post. It's real." And so it's Upper Deck. I asked him, like, "How did you find me?" And like one of our staff, was searching for artists and found your Facebook page. So, and after that, it's just, I've been lucky enough, they keep coming back. They haven't kicked me off of there yet, and they keep contacting me for more sets. So
what all have you drawn for Upper Deck?
it's just Marvel sketch cards for a lot of their Marvel sets, but it's been a lot throughout the past 10 years or so.
So like
I've been doing
superhero
it.
stuff.
Oh yeah, all Marvel Comics characters.
And had you done that beforehand?
Not on that level.
So
no.
they're not looking at your Facebook and seeing Marvel characters and whatever. They're just seeing your art and
In
knowing
general.
your talent.
Yeah. in
That
general.
is like incredible.
Oh, it was a happy day when I got that email and realized it was a real one. So yeah.
And I assume they pay you for that, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well,
They're not bad.
okay.
It's nice to have the pay, and it's also nice to have the feather in the cap to say that I drew for Upper Deck and Marvel Comics with that. So I'll take it. I mean, I still like the paycheck, but still, it's nice to say, to put. It's
For
nice on the
sure.
resume.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So here's what I don't understand. As I said earlier, like, I know, like, I can go outside and I can see something and it looks really, really pretty. And I think, wow, that would be a pretty picture or whatever. But then there's this disconnect between here and there. Do you see something in your head and it goes to there? Or do you see something that inspires you and it goes to there? Like, my disconnect is there. Yours obviously isn't. So
It's weird and hard to explain. Like I can see clouds or a nice sunset behind the clouds, and my mind immediately goes to my my markers that I use, and my markers and my paints, and thinking of what colors would I use to recreate that. Like I see, because the markers I use for a lot of my artwork are they're numerical. They have the color name, but they also have like a number, like W34C22.
Okay.
And so in my mind, I'm immediately like, I would use, what colors would I use to recreate that? I'm going to like my library of markers at home to try to figure out what I would use. So it's weird.
So
yeah.
do you see color first then?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, I see color first, and the first thing I see is when I see something like that I'd like to try to put on paper is what markers in the library and what colors and color codes I'd be using for it. And like I'll see clouds, I'm like, oh, that looks like an E47 and a
Please don't say that out in public
Yeah, I was gonna say.
while you're talking to yourself.
They think I'm playing the weirdest game of bingo by myself walking down the street. Yeah.
I can just see it now.
Although if you want to be left alone when you're out in public, that would also be the way to do it.
That is true.
Yeah.
You get people walking crossing the street to avoid you, right?
Yeah. Which that's the idea. I don't want to be bothered sometimes. It's fine.
So how did you get into art or know that you had that talent? I mean, did you start when you were just a little kid or?
Ever since I was old enough to pick up crayons, I was drawing, Godzilla and Transformers and Spider-Man and stuff. And my parents encouraged it. If I wanted, something else to draw, coloring book, crayons, or just paper, they'd get me whatever I wanted, and it just kept going. And as I got
That's
into high
awesome.
school, I just kept taking it more seriously and just never stopped. And now it's like just one of my main passions in life is putting weird things on paper.
Do you ever draw anything not weird?
Occasionally.
You did a mermaid because Courtney beat
mermaids?
me to it. I was
Yeah.
going to get that, but
I've done
yeah.
mermaids. I do musician portraits occasionally. Like in my Etsy shops and everything, in my website, you'll see I've done portraits of like David Bowie, Prince,
Okay.
Freddie Mercury, Johnny Cash. So sometimes I'll do portraits that are, like I turned Bob Ross into a zombie in Mr. Rogers and the Golden Girls, but like I did a portrait of George Carlin and that felt wrong to turn into a zombie for some reason. So he's just a normal portrait.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. You just couldn't go there, huh?
Couldn't it just?
You could go there with Bob Ross, but
Yeah.
not George Carlin.
Yeah, and if Bob Ross, sure.
Okay.
George Carlin seems sacrilegious. I don't know what the difference was.
Well, that's for another day.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. Well, what does National Comic Book Day mean to you as somebody that is an artist and would like to celebrate?
It means to me like a day to celebrate my favorite form of literature.
Yeah.
Because the visuals in comic books are just, to me, it's like the same thing as the cave paintings. There was no words on those things, but they were telling stories by illustrating the sides of whatever surface they had. And
Sure.
to me, it's just a carry-on of the oldest art form in the world.
Love that.
Depiction without words. Words are, good to have now, but it's still like you're supposed to be able to do this without words if necessary. And occasionally there's an issue of something that they'll do that without, like have a lot of, silence and just telling the story with the pictures. But it's just, it's a form of literature that's been around for, decades and decades now. And some of the characters that have been around for so long, we're now seeing in the movies like the Fantastic Four finally get a good movie. And it's so cool.
What was the first comic book? Do you know? Like, when did it start?
I don't know. I know Captain America was very early. Batman was out in 1937. Timely Comics, which became Marvel, had, Amazing Fantasy, which was the first appearance of Spider-Man back in 1963. So what the first one is, I'm not really sure. I doubt it was a superhero, because back then it was more about, stuff you see like Hagar the Horrible and Dennis the Menace and stuff like that. in
like
the
more
papers.
funny stuff.
Yeah. But then it started, going into heroics and Superman with Action Comics and all the early heroes. And that just kind of took off and just kept going.
Very cool. I think that's neat. So a comic book doesn't have to make you laugh.
No, because they had a lot of comics.
But it's in the
there.
name.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but they just, like they still keep that title of it, but it's still like people that are in that. You could pick up most comics now, and I'm sure any one of them you get a lot, like any Deadpool comic. There's humor in those.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sick and twisted humor. But
exactly. Love it.
my favorite kind.
But it's just like the movie,
Yeah.
It's just that type of humor. But there's ones that like you will deal with some drama. There is an issue of a Superman comic that's got some famous panels. It was drawn by I think Frank Quietly. That there's a girl that was on the top of a building was ready to jump, and Superman shows up and has a conversation with her and changes her mind just by being him. So
Wow.
it's not just funny stuff.
So there is that story.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, thank you for hanging with us this morning and talking about your I would say God-given talent, but also your much practiced talent also.
A lot of practice.
And the marker thing's funny. It looks like a G32 today.
Yeah, it looks like a G32 or C27. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is funny. Well, I'll tell you what, Shawn, don't be a stranger. Come back and see us. You do work here at Total Media as
do,
well.
yeah.
And back in the zip printing area. So if you need anything printed or T-shirts done or whatever, they can take care of you.
And I think I sent over a QR code for like my website where you can find more of my.
Oh,
that's the one.
cool.
Where you can find more of my work. You can scan that, and then that'll
Yeah.
take you to my website. That's got links to my Etsy shop where you can buy more stuff.
What is your website called?
ShawnLangley.com.
Okay, that's easy. SHAWN.
Yes, that's the only correct way to spell it. I don't care what anybody says.
Fair enough. All right, well, I'll tell you what, we do have Pete Wilson waiting in the wings with some news. So we're going to play a message or two, and we'll be back. Thanks,
you.
Shawn.
Thank you. Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
All right, and we are back with our good friend Pete Wilson, who has on a lovely blue and white striped shirt today.
Well, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. And you look well as well.
Well, thank you. That's very kind of you as well.
Yeah, we're TV people, aren't we?
Oh, yeah.
We do the best we can with what we have.
With what we have, right?
Right, exactly. Well, the big news this morning, it's formally, it's breaking almost as we speak. Press conference over in Chillicothe at 9:30. Had some advance information enough that, we can get a story out on the radio soon, and we can talk about it here on Main Street TV. But a major expansion is in the works at the Pike County Uranium Enrichment Plant. Now, the plant has always been there, but it kind of, operations as far as the enrichment kind of backpedaled there because of emphasis, funding emphasis and all like that. And, a lot of the work being done there is cleanup work and whatever. But they've never stopped enriching uranium. The United States Enrichment Corporation, they were the ones who had the project called GSEP that, eventually closed. But that company reorganized as the current owner of that plant down there, which is Centrus Energy, which is out of Maryland. But they own and operate that plant, although the property and facilities are owned by the government. So it's kind of a public-private thing.
Okay.
But they are announcing today, along with federal, state, and regional people over in Chillicothe, they are announcing this expansion, which will allow increased uranium production down there. What that means from an economic development standpoint is, this hasn't happened yet, but they are expecting 300 new jobs in addition to what is down there now doing uranium enrichment. Also, while they're building this, no timetable released yet. Maybe it will be at the press conference, and we'll be able to tell you more tomorrow or later. 1,000 construction jobs will be involved. So, you have a lot of construction contractors around the area, and, you take for granted that they're working. Well, they got to have something to work.
Sure.
And this would obviously be good jobs. Not only the permanent jobs down at the uranium enrichment plant, but the construction jobs that would, enable this expansion to happen. But the bottom line is, you've heard a lot, maybe if you listen to the news, that uranium enrichment production has decreased in the last a couple decades for whatever reason.
What is the point of that?
I'm not exactly sure. There are
we all live here, but we don't know.
Depending on what government preferences are and the private industry or whatever. Some have gone away from nuclear, but nuclear has always been there, still is there. The reactors and all like that. Centrus is one of the biggest uranium suppliers to nuclear reactors in the country. As a matter of fact, the Piketon site is the only site now in the country that does what they call high-assayed uranium. And the only other place that, or the places that mainly provide this in the world are Russia and China. And so who wants to depend on Russia and China for something that you may need or that is very important? And so that's part of it too. Centrus is putting in a mere $1.58 billion on this investment.
Oh, okay.
1.58 with a B,
With a
billion.
B.
Now, what we don't know for sure, from what I understand from my initial information seeking, is that the government has yet to make its level of commitment. But obviously, Centrus believes that the government commitment for uranium enrichment is going to be there as well. But that, of course, that decision will have to come how much from the United States Department of Energy. So we will see what happens there. It will also support this expansion. Will also support 127 jobs tied to low assay enriched uranium production, which is going on there. So remember earlier in the year we had to talk about losing 780 jobs at the Pixel Specialty Solutions plant in Chillicothe. Now, a lot of those were blue collar production jobs, but some of the best in this region for decades. Not saying that everybody that worked at the paper mill is now going to go there, but this is a production.
It's an opportunity.
A lot of these are production jobs, highly technical, trained production jobs. You know, when you work at a place like that, you know, obviously you're going to have to receive a lot of training, but some of the basic skills, electrical, welding, whatever, may play in to what is going on there, certainly on the construction side.
Sure.
So we will know a whole lot more after we get some news from the press conference. But enough information was I won't say leaked out, but put out very early this morning that I was able to get some initial information. So we will watch that very carefully. But obviously, great. Depending, aside from, you know, whether you're a nuclear fan or you're not, or you don't have an opinion one way or the other, it is a major economic development thing. Not only 300 jobs, but good paying jobs that will turn over in our economy. As you know, if you live in Jackson County, Pike County, of course, Ross County, Scioto County, even beyond, you know that that's where a lot of the workers live in Pike County and the nearby counties. The enrichment plant, probably about 25 miles from here. All right, some other good news to report. Red Thompson gathered this information for us, but there is a Rolling Hills generation plant, a big electric generation plant there at Wilkesville. Remember, it was in the news not long ago because of a fire.
Yeah.
Well, they actually have new owners now. I'm not sure when that happened. We're on that story too, but it's Capital Power of Canada. I think a Nebraska company had owned them before, but now Capital Power of Canada owns them. And of course, they are right there. I don't know whether they're in Wilkesville, but they're just close to Wilkesville.
It
All
is,
right.
yeah.
Okay, so what happens is, this was so strange the way this happened. The Wilton Civic Association Community Building is a main local public building there in Wilkesville. Wilkesville is a very small village, very small township. Obviously, they don't have a lot of money. They got grant money or whatever so many years ago to have, this Wilton facility. It was built in 1994.
Okay.
Well, the HVAC unit gave out last June, and they just didn't have money to replace it.
Because it's expensive.
Yeah, you need HVAC, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, one of the members of that board on the Wilton Civic Association, Brittany Rodriguez is her name. She's one of the new members. She ran into the new manager of the Rolling Hills generation plant, Tyler Legg, at a gas station. They both happened to be there at the same time.
That's so small town for you, right?
Right. The only gas station, I think, in Wilkesville. And they just started talking, and she mentioned how she's on this board, and they're working to get an HVAC unit. They don't know how they're going to get the money. And he said, well, maybe we can help, Tyler Legg said. And I don't know how long of a time it was, not very long. He called him back and says, we'll pay for the whole HVAC unit.
No.
$12,500 is what that's going to be. Anyway, they passed the check this past Monday.
That is cool.
We have that picture there. That is Tyler Legg, who the gentleman who is the fifth over from the left. And those other folks either are members of the Wilton Civic Association board, or they are people that are community boosters. I'm not sure whether they're all on the board or not, but the bottom line is they were there to get that check for $12,500. And so many of the community events there, and the events where people maybe use the facility, that building is very important. And to think that it lacked heating and air conditioning, I presume, since June. And it might be all right. It might be all right now, but you're going to need AC, and you're going to need the heat, obviously. So I understand they are working on installing that unit now. Don't know how long that takes, but they started the very next day after they got the $12,500 check. We'll have that story in Saturday's paper. Also, we want to remind everybody about the candlelight vigil at Manpower Park. We told you about that yesterday. It's 5:30. I talked to Lorinda Newkirk, who is the community organizer on that. This is not. This is Lorinda at work with some people that she knows. This is not just a church. This is not an organization. This is not the Turning Point, which Charlie Kirk, the late Charlie Kirk, who was assassinated. It's not his organization either. It's just something that she told me this morning that it was in her heart to do. Of course, Charlie Kirk, wind the clock back, a week ago last Wednesday, the victim of a political assassination in Utah. And a lot of folks who like Charlie and feel bad for the family and also believe in his political message. There's a lot of memorials going on, and this will be one that will be local. Manpower Park, I understand, it's going to be at the gazebo. Okay. Right now, the phone says, we can't trust the phone. The phone says the rain will end by 5 o'clock.
All right.
But this is set for 5:30. There will be speakers. There will be music. I think that they're going to have a food vendor or truck there as well.
Okay.
So that's 5:30 tonight. It's open to the public. It's just not, for any group or whatever. We will be covering that as well.
Yeah.
All right, news from the Jackson County Dog Pound. Jennifer Hughes has latched on to, I think it's a national endeavor. You know about it. Okay, you might have to tell me because I just found out about it earlier in the week. But it's a way, if pet adopters tell their story online, it can end up in funding coming to the Dog Pound where, the adoption was made.
Yes.
So it's called Petco Love Stories. It's a nationwide initiative that celebrates the transformative power of pet adoption. It's been going on since 2013. Jennifer heard about it and thought, well, we do a lot of adoptions. Why not?
Yeah,
why
let's
not
sign
get
up.
involved in that? So the Dog Pound and Jennifer are encouraging adopters in the community to share how their adopted pet has changed their life. Obviously, this brings more attention to adoption, so that part is good too. But there's also a grand prize of $100,000. They could use that.
I'd
couldn't
say
they
could definitely use that.
Right. So, to participate, adopters can submit their love story in written form or share a link to a public-facing social media video or by using both formats. This allows adopters to creatively express the unique ways their pets have impacted their submissions. Submissions are open to individuals ages 18 or older, or even those younger if they have parental consent. 500 words or less, participants can share their love story with photos and videos of their adopted pet. Submissions now end, this is coming up soon. It ends on September the 29th. So that is coming up
4 days from now.
4 days from now. Every adopter is asked to submit their love story to this website, petcolove.org, and then / adopt love stories. So it's petcolove.org. I think if you Google, you'll get there.
You'll be able to find that.
All right, maybe Liv over there can get that in the comments for us.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So what else? We're running out of time. We do want to remind everybody. This was put out late yesterday afternoon by the city. They are doing some replacement of water valves in the downtown area, and they knew that was going to result in a boil order. Well, it did. Late yesterday afternoon, they reported, 3:30 is actually when they put this out, there is a boil order in effect for the whole downtown area. It did not define what the downtown area is, but just think of what it might be. You're talking about a couple blocks of, maybe 3 blocks of Main, at least 2 blocks of Broadway, probably a little bit on Portsmouth Street, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard anything.
You haven't heard. Do they tell you when there's a boil order? You just have to know.
I don't know about the boil order, but when they do like flushing of hydrants and stuff, a lot of times the city will call just because of our brewing beer and stuff like that. That, you know, you obviously would lose a lot if you put water that is dirty into it. So.
Anyway, I know that this is still timely because, you know, sometimes the boil orders are 48 hours or less. They said that this boil order should be in effect for maybe as long as 3 days or until further notice. Probably 3 days would be the longest, but that's the span that they gave. The city will advise when the boil order has been lifted. They didn't really tell us either. We just noticed that they put this out, and it would affect a lot of people, not only the downtown businesses and maybe the few residences, apartments that are down there, but also customers, you know, coming into restaurants and like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right. So once again, boil order is in effect in the downtown area of Jackson for the next 3 days. Boil all water used for consumption. It's okay to use, but you need to boil it for 2 minutes before you drink it or use it in some other way. All right, and do not forget Friday night football. We even have Thursday night football.
Yeah, we do.
Oak Hill and Waverly will be playing tonight. The reason is they weren't able, their officiating crew scheduled to do Friday work were not able to fulfill their obligation because of an associated death within the crew. Not sure it was a crew member or family member, but the bottom line is they weren't able to do this on Friday. So they found a new set of officials. A lot of them can work on Thursday because there aren't games on Thursday. So they just changed the game from Friday to Thursday. But I think it illustrates the fact that it's hard to find a group of officials that aren't already working on Friday.
Correct.
There's not enough of them to go around. That's one of the reasons why you see games sometimes on nights other than Friday night.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right, so that game tonight is at home at Oak Hill Davis Stadium, and so that means it'll be on the radio on WCJO 97.7 FM, and we video stream the home games on the Total Media Sports YouTube channel.
There you go.
All right. There we go.
You did good.
Okay, well, I'm out of breath.
All right. Well, don't forget to. Oh, I have to pull a name? Oh, Liv says I have to pull a name. Okay.
Our winner, it's from our Apple Festival booth.
Oh, it's from the Apple Festival.
They
booth.
were asking me if we had a winner. I guess we'll know now,
I
right?
guess we'll know. Hold on. I'm not looking. You can see I'm not looking. Is that one?
Yeah.
Okay. The winner is Jenny Bush. So congratulations, and we have your phone number and we have your email, so we will be in contact with you, and you want all kind of fun stuff from Total Media. So very good. All right, well, Pete, thank you so much, and thanks to our friends for stopping by today. We will be back here tomorrow, and we're going to deal with the world's largest acorn controversy. You're going to find out all about it here tomorrow, so we'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.